So let us start today's current affairs. We'll discuss today's current affairs. Before going into today's current affairs, there is a very important news in science and technology. You may get this in prelims or main science and technology GS3. What is BOT? B-O-T, BOT. BOT is a news. It is an internet application which will perform many tasks automatically. BOT is an internet application which will perform many tasks automatically, almost a robotic work. For example, Apple Siri. In Apple phone, we have Siri, which will respond, which will do many programs automatically without manual intervention. In the same way, we have Google Assistant. So we have many bots like that. There are two things about bot. One is positive and second is negative. The positive thing is it will make the human life very convenient. But the negative thing is it may hack our passwords, collect a lot of our data, and sometimes spread viruses. It can do many other things. Bot attacks. We may also call it as bot attacks. So you have to do research on this topic called bot, which is very important for this year mains and prelims. Okay, what is internet bot or bot? 3 days back there is an article on bot in the Hindu also, BOT. And the second important thing in today's news, Moody's rating. The international rating agency Moody's, gave BAA2 rating to India. It gave BAA2 rating to India. From last 14 years, this India's rating is BAA3. Now it has become BAA2. Earlier it was positive. Now it was stable. India's position was raised from positive to stable. This shows that Indian economy is doing well, particularly GST, and more importantly bad loans. We had bankruptcy insolvency code which was passed last year. Bankruptcy insolvency code which was passed last year to deal with the problems of non-performing assets. So these are the two positive things in the Indian economy. And more than that, if you have very good ratings, you will get good investments, good facilities. India's ranking and investor credibility, everything will increase with this Moody's ratings. And you have two important issues in Indian economy today. One is the loan waivers. The loan waivers, farm loan waivers, might lead to fiscal slippage. It might lead to fiscal slippage. And the second is 7th pay commission effect. And the second is 7th pay commission effect. The central government employees got 7th pay commission. These two are the major impacts in the Indian economy. But still overall, if you see, Moody's rating is going to give very good signal for Indian economy. Very happy for this. India got BAA2 status in Moody's International Agency Credit Rating. The next important article today is such a long legacy. Such a long legacy. Tomorrow, November 19, 2017, marks birth centenary year of our former Prime Minister, Mrs. Indra Gandhi. November 19, 1917, she was born as Indira Priyadarshini, you all know her. And she was daughter of a great person, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. She was nurtured and reared by him. You all know the letters written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter. And here you should understand, after the death of Nehru, she has been given Information and Broadcasting Minister's post. She has been given a very small post. According in her stature, that ministership is very small at that time. She was considered as Goody Gudiya, that means dumb doll, by Ram Manohar Lohia, and everybody heckled her, criticized her, but she was proved that till date she is the strongest Prime Minister of India. She was the strongest Prime Minister of India, and she made many realistic things in the Indian's foreign policy and domestic policy. The first thing, she decided not to sign NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. She was steadfast in spite of international pressures. She has not signed a Non-Proliferation Treaty. In 1969, she nationalized 14 banks. In 1969, she nationalized 14 banks. She abolished privy purses. She abolished privy purses, the separate purses without any income tax rules given to erstwhile Indian rulers. When, after independence, when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is integrating into India, we have allowed privy purses to erstwhile rulers. That was annulled. In Telugu it is called Rajya Barnala Raddu. It was annulled. And she has brought socialist patterns into Indian economy. Garibi Hatao is her call. She has actually reached the masses without any mediation and representation. She actually has a direct access to the masses. That is her cherishment and personality. And Indira Gandhi made populist policies, and she made Indira is equal to India and India is equal to Indira. It is not the party, it is not the institution. It is a person and personality cult that grew. It is not the party, it is not the institution. It is the person and personality cult that grew in that situation. Indira Gandhi successfully brought committed bureaucracy and tried for committed judiciary also. She tried to make most of the institutions subservient to the ruling party, ruling lady, and she proved very fast that she is a lady with mettle, with a strong power. Her acumenship in dealing with Bangladesh liberation in 1971 even will be recalled in many memorials today. At that time, her skill was praised by many important leaders, even by the opposition leaders. In 1974, she went for Operation Smiling Buddha, the first Pokhran test, the first nuclear bomb explosion in India, fully controlled underground nuclear explosion in India. After that, India went for emergency. She is the Prime Minister, she was the Prime Minister of India who imposed national emergency throughout India only once. It made Indian democracy a sham for almost 2 years, 1975 to 77. For almost 2 years, Indian democracy have become a sham. Human rights were curtailed, liberties were crushed, press was dragged, and at that time, she listened to no one except to her son, Sanjay Gandhi. She listened to no one except to her son, Sanjay Gandhi. And her victory again, for the first time in 1977, after the lifting of emergency, at the central level, we have seen a non-Congress government. During Indira's rule, for the first time in the entire independent India's history, India have seen the first non-Congress government, that is the Janata government. Again, in the elections in 1980, she again came into power. Her attack on Golden Temple, her control on Golden Temple is considered as a historic blunder. It is considered as a historical blunder by many, and she died in the hands of her own guards. She died in the hands of her own guards. but still a larger than life image, a life led as a legacy, and a woman who showed her indomitable power to make future India a pragmatic India, and a woman who led the Green Revolution, who made land reforms perfect, and who actually tried to make 20-point program, Garibi Hatao, particularly she reached the poor. During her time, the rich-poor divide have become very low in India. This is Indira Gandhi. Let her see, politics is something different, but as a person, she is really great. So tomorrow is her birth centenary year. Tomorrow is her birth centenary year. Let us salute this great lady. Let's go for other article. One more article on Padmavati movie. The Padmavati movie have become very famous now because of some bad reasons. As you all know, yesterday also we have discussed. Some of the things. In this Padmavati movie, even Uttar Pradesh government now is supporting the agitation. There is a agitation group formed called Karni Sena. Now, Chittorgarh Fort in Rajasthan have been blocked yesterday. They don't want the Padmavati movie to be released next month. But Supreme Court said it can do nothing because already CBFC have given certification and creative freedom should be allowed. And we don't know that whether the movie is a reality or a fiction. There is no proper historical evidence, though we have Muhammad Jaysi's Padmavat novel. We don't know whether it is right or wrong because the novel is written after 200 years after the incident. To what extent the incident is right, to what extent there is a distortion of facts, nobody knows that. So apart from this article, we have a beautiful article again called Beyond Piketty. Thomas Piketty, an author, wrote a book called Capital in the 21st Century. Thomas Piketty, an author, wrote a book called Capital in the 21st Century. The spirit of the book is, the essence of the book is, as you go up in development, the income levels of rich will also go up. The percentage of income levels of the rich will also go up. This article says, today, top 1% of Indians own 22% of India's wealth. Top 1% of Indians own 22% of India's wealth. Whereas, in 1980s, it was only 6%. Whereas, 50 years back, it was 21%. Now, the top 1% of Indians own 22% of India's wealth. Income disparity is rising. And the article gave a lot of data. Here, India's wealth growth in India is forecasted to be 9.2% in future. By 2020, 9.2%. Whereas, global average is predicted only 6%. When our growth rates are going up, the growth rate should also reach to the poor. The article deals with a lot of data. This article, some of the data, like how many millionaires are there in India. More than 3,75,000 millionaires are going to be in India. This type of data you can collect and paste in your book. You can cut and paste this article in the answer sheet in your notebook. Next important article is about superbugs and Hyderabad. In most of the ponds and other areas, because of the effluents released by various industries, antimicrobial resistance and superbugs issues are coming up in India, in Hyderabad. It is time to take a call on cleaning up of our ponds, particularly following strict environmental norms, effluent release norms. Every factory should have a proper effluent treatment plan every factory should treat the effluents and send them back. Otherwise, with the environmental pollution, the sustenance of mankind itself is a very big question. With the environmental pollution, the sustenance of mankind itself is a very big question. So you can read the entire article. This is enough for today's current affairs. Thank you.